Hello everybody from the Friendly Bobcat. So today I'm cleaning up this, there was a playground here once, and basically they asked me to come in and grade out the existing playground.
All right, so here I'm going to give you some tips on moving soil with the MT100 and the 48-inch 4-in-1 bucket. In these clips here, I'm just basically making these little micro piles around the site where I need to grade back the level that was existing on this ground, because they scraped off this mulch off this old playground that made the ground level completely uneven. So I needed to re-level this old playground, and to do that we needed to bring in quite a substantial amount of dirt. So when I'm attacking about a 900 square foot area like this where the sides are very uneven, instead of taking that pile that you see me taking the dirt out, I'm trying to spread it all out all at once in the center and all over this site. I made these micro piles, you can see me dropping them right there on the sides, basically to stage the next phase of what this job was, which was irrigation. So I needed to do an irrigation system in here, a very simple one to get the grass to grow. And you can see here how I carved out that pile that was dropped in the center. I'm making kind of like a little route in there to lay my pipe, and all the initial soil that I pick up from that pile, I'm dropping it along the edges of this old playground.
All right, so the progress so far this morning, I took a lot of that dirt that was in a big pile over there, I moved it back, made a bunch of little micro piles on the side, laid my irrigation line, dug a small trench for that, and then stacked the remaining dirt in the center that I'm going to use to grade out once the lines are set and backfilled. So basically the way I'm going to work this is I'm putting in my heads right now. I'm going to set those, I'm going to backfill the line, then I'm going to take the center and I'm going to grade this entire lot out with that remaining dirt. I'm going to backfill this line with the dirt that I stacked up against the edges. So if you can see, that's how it works. The system of installing irrigation systems and grading. I had to go pick up some more dirt because I figured out that I was short by about 6 yards. So I picked up that right there, and I picked up this right here. So MT100 does a really good job at digging trenches when you use the bucket for small trench work like this. You can just plow through little sections and build out nice trenches with that bucket. Saves bringing in a trencher. So quick tip. But yeah, this is what we're up against. Tomorrow is going to be a fun day to grade this all off, make this look super. Hello everybody from the Friendly Bobcat. So today's job went a little bit unexpected. I had to go get a couple extra yards of dirt. I estimated 18, came down to 24 yards. So it's always the estimation process. You always got to make sure that you double check that, but sometimes it just is what it is. So I'm gonna let you in on a little trade secret. There's always going to be unforeseen costs in a job, and the unforeseen costs are things that, like estimating, oh, I need 18 yards of soil like I thought on this job, and it actually turns out to be 24. So the little secret is bumping numbers to make sure that there's always a little bit extra there on, say, dirt, irrigation. I add a 50% markup on that. And that gives me with enough extra money so I can put to use on extras that the job might encounter. So that's a little trade secret, is a 50% markup charge, but I use that as an overall safety net for situations like this. And a lot of people go at it different ways. I think the 50% markup charge on dirt is a really fair way to play, especially if you know that you say you know that dirt might run you a little more and you're not sure exactly how much it's going to cost, but you have a really good idea of what you think it's going to cost. You take that initial dirt number and you pump it with that 50%, and there you have basically a cushion.
A pop-up head that's raised up in the dirt. I do that so I know where each pop-up is. Some people place flags, but you know, I raise the heads up like that, and then I go up to them with a shovel at the end, and I just kind of lightly set them in the dirt at grade level. So basically, you can see here how those little micro piles are being so helpful now. I'm actually going up to them, I'm spreading them out, I'm using the 4-in-1 bucket open to plow out those piles, and then I'm taking the bottom part of the blade and sort of just conforming it to the dirt. So you can see here in the time lapse how I keep the bucket low. I'm telling you to do that again because it is so effective when you use this machine and you keep the bucket low and you don't raise it up. I actually use the bucket to kind of like almost conform to the dirt in its own way. So I just float it really lightly and I let it just kind of roll over the soil. And when it rolls over the soil, it kind of just makes its own path and it just sort of fluffs everything really nice. And you can come over and do your final passes where you press down on the bucket as you grade. You give it a little more pressure and then it'll really flatten that dirt down the way it should be. But the initial passes are passes where the bucket is, it's just floating over the surface. You can see right there, it's just floating. It's sort of like hitting little sections and then it's flattening it. Also, I keep the 4-in-1 just a little bit open, you can see right there, and that's intentional because what it actually kind of does is it actually like tills and kind of like floats and like buffs the soil. It's hard to explain, but you can see if you look closely on the bucket tip of the bucket, you can see how the soil is just kind of like bubbling up. It's actually because the blade's just a little bit open in that 4-in-1 bucket. It sounds crazy that it's open a little bit like that, but it helps to circulate the dirt underneath the bucket. So it's extremely effective by doing it like that and not trying to force everything. You let the machine do the work. You leave the bucket at a sort of like floating point and you just let it just cruise through each section of dirt. You can watch, I mean, you can see right here, look how clean it's becoming. This is actually all coming together right now and it's right in front of your eyes. So keep watching. These clips are a little bit long, but study this movements right here. Look that I do not raise that bucket high, and you will have some insane success using this machine with just a 4-in-1 bucket and grading out a little lot like this. It just takes the right approach to it. I've been using this machine for hours and hours and hours and hours with this bucket, and I know the little nuances that I run into with over the years of just doing this, you know. So I hope you can watch this and get just a little bit of feedback from it, and it can help you out on your jobs over the years I've ran this machine like this. So look at how clean it's coming out. Stay tuned, keep watching, watch the final clip, and be amazed because this job came out so clean. It even kind of blew my mind away how clean I got it. You can see here the lines are just coming out. So keep watching. Another thing to note is I don't rev the machine up very fast and drive very fast in these situations. I keep it at a real even pace, and I just go through everything really slowly. And I look as I'm going. You see I'm looking to the side, I look to the left, I look to the right, and I really kind of study the shape of the land, and I look at where things are going, and I pass through each section periodically and press down on that bucket once that dirt's been moved right, and really force that soil down once it's really been kind of tilled in. You can see underneath the bucket how the soil just kind of just drops off the backside of it. That's the excess that just got delivered to the end. But you can see here I'm pressing down right there, and look, it's just bubbling into the earth. So it's doing good work. The MT100, amazing grading machine.
Grade there, it's pitched off right, tips off this mountain. Grading is essential to every landscape job. The right amount of dirt is essential to every landscape job, and the right machine is essential to every landscape job. And we're gonna rock and roll. Thanks for watching.